Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Radash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, teaching his word in truth and sincerity. And, we're back at the basics, the milk of the scriptures, which is, hey, the Lord is not coming for all Israel, right? The Lord is not coming for all Israel on this side. He's only coming for his elect, right? The elect are the men and the women who are going to adhere to the words of the prophets, which is given by Yahweh Bashim Al Shai through the Spirit. Right? All Israel is not going to receive that. That's why this message is not world friendly. It's only for those who can receive it. This is Romans 11:7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Right? So, that wisdom and knowledge is only given to the elect, and the elect is going to take that wisdom and knowledge, and they're going to apply it, and they're going to get salvation, right? Whereas the other Israelites, the 2/3 of our people, they're going to be destroyed, right? So, we don't worry ourselves with trying to wake up all Israel, right? Trying to have a big congregation, because these other camps are doing that just to boast in the numbers. And most of those guys that they have are not really sincere, right? They're just looking for something to be a part of, right? They're not really trying to sincerely seek Yahweh Bashim Shai, but that's what happens when you just try to get numbers and worry about self glorification. Those things are vain, right? It's about finding the elect, the sincere, out of the house of Israel, right? And hey, that's why a lot of these camps, they like to debate. They like to go back and forth with these different apologists or small hats, and it's like, what's the point, right? Let me go to Romans. Slakia. It's not Romans. It's John. John 14:17, and it says, I'm actually read up to 16. This is John 14:16, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwell in you, and shall be in you. So it says, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. So if we know that the world can't receive the Spirit of what's in these scriptures, which is the truth, then why are we trying to go on these different platforms and tell people about things that they can't understand? It's like, I understand if they're inquiring about the wisdom and knowledge, but these people are openly admitting they don't believe in the Bible or believe in the doctrine, the true doctrine of how about Shema Shai, but you want to debate with them, right? It's just a waste of time. The word is going to get out regardless, right? The Lord has watchmen, right? That's spreading His word throughout the four corners of the earth, and we know that the internet does the heavy lifting, because you can do a video and anybody in the world can see it, right? Even though they probably shadow ban our videos, it's still not stopping, the message from getting out there, right? Because that the name of the Lord, the Spirit, is on the earth through the men that the Lord set up, right? So nobody can say they didn't hear it or they didn't know about it, right? That's how the Lord is putting everybody in a trick basket, right? You might make fun of the ministry. You might say these guys don't know what they're talking about, but you heard it, and that's how the Lord wants it. He just wants it to be heard, right? Going to Ezekiel, right? Hey, whether they hear or forbear. This is Ezekiel. It's around 2. I'm going to start at 3. Actually, I'm going to start at 1. Ezekiel 2:1. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he had spake unto me, and set me upon my feet, that I heard him that spake unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to be send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. So that's the same spirit that's on these Israelites today. They're a rebellious people, and they just rebel against the truth. They rebel against the prophets. It says, For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. Right. So it's not meant for everybody to get it, but everybody will hear it. Right. And the scriptures say that the gospel of the kingdom should be preached through all the earth for a witness to all nations. Then the end shall come. Right. So everybody's going to hear the word. It's meant for everybody to hear it. So there's no excuse. Right. Because they don't like the message of the prophets, or maybe how we look, or how we sound. They're gonna reject it, and that's gonna be their condemnation, right? You're gonna be found guilty in the eyes of Yahweh Shemel Shai, because you didn't seek this knowledge when it was available to you. You thought that you knew better, right? But just going back to the topic, we're not gonna get all Israel. If we were to have to get all Israel, we would never get out of captivity, right? Let's go to Isaiah, because the scriptures talk about how the Lord preserved a remnant of his people. It's Isaiah 10, and I'm going to start at 20. It says, And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. Right? So it says a remnant of the Israelites are not going to stay upon them that smote them. Right? They're not going to stay upon their oppressors. They're not going to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Right? They're going to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty God. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. Right? So, though the Lord multiplied us as the sand of the sea, he only preserved a remnant of Israelites that's going to serve him in these last days, that's going to adhere to what's going on, man, to the book, and be able to understand what's going on and to apply it to their daily lives, right? And to have that integrity all the way into the end, right? Where, they're going to be found justified in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai. They're going to be found faultless, No guile is going to be found in their mouth, because they didn't stray away. They didn't deviate from the truth, right? They didn't deviate from what they knew was right. They stayed faithful all the way to the end, right? And only a remnant is going to do that. You can't rely on these damn 2/3 Israelites, man, right? They're still embedded in the ways of the world. They don't want to change, and they've been trapped by Esau, right? Esau did put all them snares out there, and Jake just bit, he just bit all of them. He just ran into everyone. He didn't have enough wisdom and knowledge to be able to, maneuver those different traps. So, the Most High has given us that knowledge and wisdom, right? It says that, be circumspect, redeeming the times, because the days are evil, right? To be circumspect means to, look around, be vigilant, right? Because there's so many things that the Esau Edom is setting up for it to trap Jake, and it doesn't just mean to watch around, like watch around you immediately, but in your vicinity, I would say, but watch around, as far as what's going on, be that watchman, give them warning from me, right? Because these days are going to get worse and worse, and things are going to turn up. They're going to turn up, and that's why you want to seek the Lord right now. That's why the message is out there, even though we know only a remnant is going to understand it. You know, we have to search for those who have that, that like-minded spirit. Uh, this is Second Esdras 8:51. It says, "But understand thou." Let me actually read 50. It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." Right? "But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee." Right? Hey, the ones who, have that same spirit, that have that same passion for Yahweh Bashim Shai, those are the ones that we're searching for, right? We're not worried about no 2/3 nigga, or your family who don't get it and understand it, or whatever, your friends in the world, which most likely this word is gonna put a wedge between those people anyways, right? But you're only searching for those who have that same mindset, right? That's it. Because the body of Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to be in unison. They're going to have one mind and one spirit, right? They're going to all speak the same thing, right? They're not gonna have 3, 4, 5 different ideologies and ways of thinking. Everybody's going to be thinking on the same mindset. Let me see, where's that at? 1 Corinthians. It says, this is 1 Corinthians 1:10. "Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, that you all speak the same thing, and that there be no division among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind, in the same judgment." Right? So you can't get fellowship with a nigga, man. Or you can't fellowship with these people who have a worldly mindset. You can't fellowship with those men, right? But it says, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and same judgment, right? Right. So, hey, it says, can two walk together unless they be agreed, right? So, we can't agree with these people, these different people, right? So that's why the Lord had a remnant that was going to return in the last days, and we're seeing the remnant being gathered up today, right? They're hearing the word, and they're coming in, and they start to labor in the works of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, which is marking pretty much the ending of this part of the ministry, which is teaching the word and things like that. That's pretty much about to be over. So it's not too much more time for people to really get this word, right? The word's been out there for a very long time. All right, so 144,000 could already, could already be sealed, or very, very close to it at this time. So hey, all the people who scoff and mock and walk by and don't say anything when they see brothers at camp or whatever like that, that's good, because they're gonna be wishing that they came in, or they stopped and they inquired about the wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shai when they had a chance to, right? And let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it at that. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And till next time, Lord willingly, Shalom.